Howdy everybody, it's a Blackhawks Cowboy here, and for today's video, we're going to be going into Jeff Blashill and the signing the Blackhawks just made for their head coach, and my personal thoughts concerning it. So, unless you're living underneath a rock, unless you're not on Twitter, Jeff Blashill is, I don't know if he's officially confirmed yet, but he is going to be the Chicago Blackhawks' next head coach. Blashill, last NHL experience, he was an assistant coach with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and before that, he was the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. This was during the time after the Datsuk era, where the Red Wings were kind of limbo. They're going through the rebuild. They're coming out of it. Up until about a year or two ago, he was their head coach. He didn't do bad. He lasted 7 years there. The average for an NHL coach, I believe, is 3. So he was able to double the average shelf life of a coach. And in terms of the Blashill as a coach himself, I really like it. So we're going to quickly go over, he was a former player, came into coaching, and within 10 years had won a championship in the USHL, right? The Indiana Ice, he was a general manager and head coach. He goes in, they win it. He goes to Western Michigan, they win their conference championship, they make the tournament for the first time in 15 years, and then he goes to the Detroit Red Wings. And he becomes an assistant coach there. He goes down to the minors, and now he wins another championship with Grand Rapids. So after a stint with Grand Rapids, he goes up, he gets called up, and he becomes the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings in 2015. And he lasted there into 2022. And he wasn't fired, his contract wasn't extended. In terms of what he did in Detroit, I personally, I like what he did. I mean, it was the first time NHL coach, and he's got a previous track record, and he was able to take a bunch of players like Larkin and Sider and help develop them into the players that we know them to be today. And when you take a younger head coach like Blashill, because I believe he's under 55. I'm pretty sure he's 51, 52. When you take a guy like Blashill and you put him into this team where he's a developmental guy, he's won in developmental leagues, and he can hold his players accountable, and you look around and you got guys like Lev Shinov and Renzel, and you got that young D-core that you know he can help develop, and you got guys like Bedard. And then it also, it brings in another area from Tampa Bay. Do you bring in Isaac Howard? Because Blashill was the assistant coach for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, he was there. I'm pretty sure he ran the power play. And he would know the players in that system. And Isaac Howard, as we know, is on his way out of Tampa. He's not going to sign a contract with them, and his rights are about to run out after this year. So now do the Blackhawks bring in a guy like Howard with this hiring? Internationally, he's also 2017 coached the United States. He's going to be a good coach. Now, personally, this is my personal thoughts. I do not think that Blashill will be the coach of the future. I do not think Blashill will be the coach of the future. He could, but his first 2 years are going to tell a lot about where we're going to stand, because this is such a out of right field hiring that I don't quite know how to feel about it. Sorry. With this hiring, you know, you're betting a lot that this guy's going to have that second season bounce back that a lot of head coaches have, right? That their first stint is a little rocky, they're not doing the greatest, you know. With Blashill, he made the playoffs his first stint 1 year, and then they went to the rebuild. He got him through the rebuild, and now, you know, the Detroit Red Wings, they're sitting not pretty, but they're in a spot where they're trying to avoid limbo, right? But the question I have for Blackhawks fans as I round this video out, do we think that Blashill over the next 3 years will be our best option? Do we think that having Blashill under contract, not now, because right now it's a good signing, but 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, is he still going to have the same impact? Do we trust Blashill when it comes to the playoffs? Because the one year they made the playoffs with the old core, I think they got beaten 5 games. That was in 2016. It was either swept or they got beaten 5. So do we, especially if we bring in like these high-profile players like Ehlers or Marner, who are going to want to win, right? They're going to come into this team and they're going to see it coming on the up and up, and they're going to expect, like, before their primes are up, before they leave their prime, that they're going to be in the playoffs again. And so do we trust him to not get us to the playoffs, but to sustain a playoff success? And that's really where I have questions on this hiring. But time will only tell on that. Because as of right now, it's going to be a good hire. It's going to be a good hire. He'll bring in a good staff because he's been around the league for so long. And I truly believe that it could end up becoming one of the best moves KD made. Now, do I feel like it's rush? Yes. Do I feel like it's risky? Yes. At the same time, while it could be the best move KD makes, it could very well be the worst. We emphasize as fans this year how much this coaching hire was going to affect the future with Bedard and Nazer and Rinzel and more. And do we think Blashill is the right guy? Like I said, for 2 years, if we bring him in to be another Sorensen stopgap, that's fine. But 3 years from now, 4 years from now, is Blashill the guy? And that's just going to do it for the video today. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, hit the like and subscribe button. As summer's coming through, I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands. We'll get a lot more videos. So just stay tuned for that. But thank you so much again for watching. This is the Blackhawks Cowboy signing off. Thank you. Goodbye.